All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another video. This one's going to be a pretty fast one. I'm going to go through basically a midweek update as to how things are going, what we did, how we played the market, as well as what I think the market's going to do, how SPY is going to behave, talk about its levels, as well as, stocks that had earnings, how I'm going to play these earnings stocks that released today and, yesterday. So there's a lot to unpack. So let's go over them. Tuesday we had some big names: Tesla, Visa, Enphase. These guys came out with earnings. Today we had Meta, IBM, Chipotle, ServiceNow, LRRCX. Sometimes can be really good. Humana, and of course like Boeing here as well. Some big names here that we are going to talk about, as well as how we can play them, what levels I'm watching, and so on. And then of course tomorrow we have some big names coming up as well: aftermarket, Microsoft, Google, Intel, Snap, Roku. These are we're gonna be trading them on Friday, so that's gonna be fun to trade them. So yeah, we're gonna talk about the ones from yesterday and the ones from today and how we're gonna trade them. Let's go over basically what we did this week so far. And of course, guys, if you guys want to catch every single play that I make, link will be in the descriptions below for my Discord, where you can come in, sign up for the Discord. It's a very cheap Discord group, extremely low price compared to every other Discord in the market that charges you like $100 plus. So yeah, if you guys want to catch every single one of these plays, I always alert them as soon as I take them. And I also go live every morning whenever I have a chance. Sometimes I don't because I get sick or stuff, but majority of the days I do go live. And we've had a really good day so far. A lot of, I wish I held my Boeing puts because they went crazy. My God. But yeah, we have morning notes every morning. I post at least 7 to 8 stocks that I think are really good for us to make play on. And Boeing was one of my favorites, and we made a lot of money on Boeing. I also had Nvidia in there, made money on it. Tesla in there, made money on it. QQQ, SPY, a staple. Like these are plays that we keep on our watch list every morning because we know they're gonna move, and then we add in earnings plays, gap fills, and so on and so forth. And so yeah, if you guys want to catch these plays, link will be in the descriptions below. So let's go over a few things. Monday was pretty okay, 2 wins, 1 loss. Tuesday was 2 wins, 1 loss. A little bit profit on Monday, a little bit of a loss on Tuesday, and then came back really strong today with a Tesla earnings strangle. Ended up making a lot of money on the call side. Put side was not good because Tesla gapped up really big. So put side was 0. Call side was 200% in profit. Overall total, I ended up making a nice 100%. So it was a really good really good strangle play into earnings on Tesla because Tesla gapped up massive. Boeing, again, like I said, huge win here. And then we had a small loss on Enphase, but honestly, this was a win. And I'm going to show you what I mean by this is what happens when I don't take profit. Enphase, when I took it in the morning, 9:54, 1 minute later, it was up 20%. And I was like, this is going to go up more. Let me just hold it and be greedy about it. Next thing you know, it's starting to come down. Market is starting to reverse to the downside as SPY and QQQ started becoming very weak. And so I was like, you know what? Let me just take my 30% loss and move on, because if I hold it longer, it probably tumble down with the market and end up being a 70, 80, 90% loss. And I don't want to swing this stock for sure. And, I don't have the confidence that this will hold up. So I ended up taking my loss, and I'm glad that I did because it ended up going down a lot more than that. So really good stop loss there for this one, because after that, I proceeded to make a lot of money. 5 wins in a row of, just Tesla call paying huge, and then puts because it was just too easy not to take puts for today. When the market just kept on tumbling. And then at the end of the day, when I was done with all of these wins, I was like, you know what, let me just do a lotto put option on SPY. If it goes down even further than what it already did, I'll make some nice profit. If it doesn't, I'll take a loss and move on. And this is what a lotto play is. I go in extremely small size and I just let it play out. And, it ended up being a loss. So 11 wins, 4 losses on the week. Not too bad. So let's go straight into how we can play the market moving forward. So starting off with SPY, if you look at what SPY has done so far, big drop the week before, huge bounce this week, right? And then after that huge bounce of, Monday, Tuesday, we come up to a big level of resistance around 507 and we start tumbling down today. Now, today's drop from 507 was really nice and I caught it. I did not play the bounce because I didn't want to risk it. And then, of course, after hours, we're back down to like 501. I kind of wish this move came in during the day because I actually had like $500 puts for the lotto, and I actually would have profited. Funny thing is, the 500 puts were actually profit by 30%, but I chose to not to take it because I wanted 100% plus. That's what I do with lottos. So technically, I could have gone all green trades today had I just taken my 20 and 30% profit. I'm so stupid sometimes. Anyways, 501. That's the lows as of right now because of Meta earnings. Now we'll talk about Meta earnings, but first things first, what am I looking for SPY? I'm looking for 500 level. Right now, you go to the 4-hour chart and it gets really interesting because in the 4-hour chart, what ended up happening is we ended up coming down to support area around this 500 area. And guess what? This is a inverse head and shoulder, which is normally a bullish pattern. We have a shoulder right here, right? Shoulder, and then we have a massive head, and then we have a second shoulder building right now. So this could be the bottom. 500 could be the bottom here. And tomorrow we start curling back up to 506, 507, break 507, and guess what? We're inside a huge fair value gap. And that's a big gap and balancing that the SPY can do from 507, 507.50 all the way up to 513. That's massive. So an inverse head and shoulder bullish pattern into a gap fill is incredible, and I will 100% be looking for, first of all, to see if we bounce at 500 for a nice comeback, and then break of 507 for a nice push into 513. So 100%, those are the levels you're looking for, either a bounce at 500 for 507, 507.50, and then the break of 507, 507.50 into 510, 512, 513. So two potential entry points there. And then, of course, flip side of it, what if market keeps on going down? So then you short 500 and you bring it down to 498, 497. After 497, you can take it down towards 495. After 495, you go to the 493 and break it down to 490 and so on and so forth. So those are kind of the idea for the short term. I'm only looking at the 4-hour chart because that's the one that has the setup really built in, and it's a bullish setup. It all relies on how it does around 500 tomorrow. If 500 holds and we do an inverse head and shoulder, then yeah, we're playing calls and we're pushing the market back up towards 510, 513. Should be a really fun rest of the week, and should be a pretty volatile rest of the week. Hopefully they don't grind this into next week, but yeah, I'm very interested in playing SPY as a day trade and only doing day to day. I don't really swing SPY, I do it day by day. So this is something that I'm very, very interested in. So watch out for SPY. Really, really cool. And going into QQQs, kind of similar, but not quite. It's kind of inverse head and shoulder. Like you got a shoulder right here, and then the second shoulder is maybe building, but not as clean as SPY. So like personally, I don't really want to trade this unless the QQQ somehow breaks like 430 that it kind of popped off. 430 breaks, we got room to like 432, 434 area. On the short side, 420 short. That's the main thing that I'm looking at. If market goes down and QQQ breaks 420, I want to short it, bring it down to 415, 416 area. So that should be a really fun thing to do. If it bounces at 420, we can try to get it back up to 425. Break 425, we got 430 on it. So just watch out for QQQ as well. As for earnings, Meta. Big. Meta earnings was actually really, really good. I personally love it, but market reacted to it very negatively. So what am I looking for? I'm looking for bounce on this stock. Yes, it sold off aggressively, but tomorrow I want to see this thing actually hold 400, curl back up towards 430s, 440s, assuming it stays around near this 400. Under 400, we can short it down to like 490, 495, but I don't think you're going to get a lot of huge drop on it. If I go ahead and I look at, where it's going to open up, right? If we go all the way down here, like, look, 400 is literally Meta's gap fill. That literally is the bottom. That 400 area, if it opens up here, it's opening up after this gap has been filled, which means that it's actually at a support level that is insanely huge. This is a massive support level that Meta can use as a curl back up, because this is a major gap down, 75 points gap down, 15% on a beat. So for me, long term wise, I think Meta hands down is going to curl back up and run. So Personally, more of a long bias than a short bias, and I'm looking to see if Meta can somehow get above this like 430 area, get to 440. Once it takes out 440, it's got a huge room to the upside here. I mean, obviously back towards like 500, but I'm going to be looking to trade this. I will know the exact levels better pre-market tomorrow. This is why you want to be in the room, so that you can catch those morning notes with exact levels that I am looking to play right off the bat at the market open. So that's why I can't really give you exact levels, but the one that's easy to tell you is that the short under 400 is going to be pretty easy. Short under 400, take it down 5 to 10 points and get a nice win. So yeah, Meta, definitely one of the main ones to watch out for sure for tomorrow. Tesla did really well. Now, funny thing is Tesla actually missed earnings, but somehow it's gapped up huge. For me, this one needs to go back down, and I think it's going to slow fade back down inside the gap fill. So what am I looking for from Tesla? I'm looking for it to break under 157.50, either tomorrow or Friday, and we're gonna short it down and into the gap all the way down towards 150 and then 146. So 147. So we got room to go down on Tesla, and I'm very interested in shorting this. On the long side, the only way I would long is if it gets back over 165. I'll try to long it to 170. But personally, it did the gap fill on the upside. Now it needs to do the gap fill on the downside. So I'm leaning more towards a short on Tesla. IBM, another one that came out with earnings, and boom, earnings doesn't look like it was that insane, as IBM is also down. And for me, let's see, the main reason it did drop is because they decided to buy HashiCorp for 6.4 billion. So that's money that they're spending out of the company. Therefore, this company dropped because of this purchase news. So me personally, I like it more as a short, and then I mean, it could go both ways, but I like it more as a short. I want to short it under the lows here at 166.50, bring it down to 160. I don't think it will go that far that quickly, maybe like 164, 165 first to take some profit, and then proceed to go down towards 163 and 160 area. As for long, depends on how the pre-market is, but if let's say it stays around here, your long is 170. That will be the first area where you want to long it. If it gets above 170 by pre-market, then your next long setup is going to be 172.50 for a nice run to 175. So those are kind of the levels to watch out for. And yeah, keep an eye on it. The IBM should be pretty nice. Just to glance over a couple of stocks from our list that we had. Netflix, huge drop, broke that 550, dropped down to 540, bounced back up to 580, and then back down to 549. I have some put option plays, but I am suffering on this one. I'm down a lot, but after the drop today, I mean, I recovered a lot. So we'll see if Netflix can go ahead and fill this gap to 500, which is what I'm looking for. And it'll be pretty fun to see if it can go there, and I'll see if I can continue to play this. I might try and do a bounce play at 550 depending on how it is, but I think more downside is what I'm looking for first into the gap fill, and then we'll focus on bouncing it. So yeah, Netflix, still something to keep a very close eye on. Very volatile right now, so worth keeping an eye on for sure. I know there was a couple of few stocks that I wanted to mention here. Now is another one that released earnings and is gapping down. I like it during earnings season because it tends to be fairly volatile. I don't know how well it's going to do tomorrow, but your long is 715 for like 725, 730. Your short is 700, bring it down to 690, 680. So it should be a pretty fun trade tomorrow. I like it more as a short, so watch out for that 700 break tomorrow and then dump it. What was the other place? Earnings plays that we had? Visa, there we go. Visa is another one that we want to look at. So let's go to Visa. And Visa earnings was pretty nice. Earnings came out, gapped up, and then today we faded back down. So we basically filled the entire gap. I'm looking for a bounce here. So what I'm looking for is can we hold around this 270 and get a nice little bounce back to like 75, 76, 77. If we fail and we do a head and shoulder here, because this looks like a very nice head and shoulder, I want to short it under 272, short under 272, bring it all the way down towards like 270, 269. If it does bounce, which is what which is what I want, then I want to bounce it over 275, 276, and get to 277, and then after 277, 280. We'll see how this plays out. I'm not really too crazy about this because there are better plays out there, but it's definitely one that, could be fun if it wants to move. And of course, last but not least, let's talk about Enphase and Boeing. So Enphase, I did end up losing money on it today, even though I ended up having a nice profit. I played the breakout in the morning over the 116, and I had a 2-point breakout to 118, and I didn't sell for profit. So I ended up coming down and breaking support here, and then I stopped out right here, and then it proceeded to go all the way back down. So it was a really good stop loss. So for me, this one didn't have good earnings. So what am I looking for? Short tomorrow under 105. Just dump it. Just dump it back down inside the gap. Short under 105 all the way down towards 100. That's 5 points. I'm going to look for a short on this one. I like the setup. It has a gap fill. Looks good. Earnings was bad. Let's go. Short. All right. That's the idea. Not going to play along on this one. And last but not least was it Boeing? Right. Boeing. Huge mover today. I mean, absolute monster. Now, this is a bearish engulfing pattern, right? You have a huge engulfing candle right here, with the previous candle being a very small inside candle. So this entire candle is basically covering this previous red candle. This is called a bearish engulfing candle, right? So what I want to see is more downside. This is earnings wasn't that great. I want to short it under 162, bring it down to 160, under 160, dump it all the way down towards 150. We're going to take this down to 150 by the end of the week, I would say, maybe even tomorrow. So yeah, Boeing, short. That's the idea. Target is 150. And obviously, if it breaks 150, well, good luck to Boeing, because once it breaks 160, we got minimum 150. Once it breaks 150, we got room towards like 125, 130 area. So it could get pretty ugly for it. But at the bare minimum, 150 is goal. All right. So if you enjoyed this video and you like the rundowns of the midweek, let me know down in the comments below. Do you guys want videos on Wednesdays, like a midweek update and talking about, stocks that could be potentially moving and so on? Let me know down in the comments below if you guys want that. And of course, if you guys want to catch all of these plays, I'll be alerting them in the, in my Discord. Link will be in the descriptions below. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and let's continue making money. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.